This video isn't about me, it's about him.
I've been behind the scenes at the running channel right from the start, but I've never really liked running. However, that's all changed this year when I decided to sign up for my own marathon. There's so many questions that I need answers for, and that's why today I've brought Mo along and I'm just going to ask for some advice. I'm currently on week 9 of 16 on my training plan using the Runner app. I really love doing interval runs because I love feeling fast, and my background's in football, so I'm kind of used to that.
Doesn't count if you're a goalkeeper, but go on.
No need. I really hate though the long, slow slogs, long runs basically. My time on feet, it hurts, it's painful, and that's something that I'm trying to adjust for. But today we're doing an interval session.
Yes, your favourite session actually. So we're going to do a very simple interval session, and that's going to constitute of split 600 metres. So we're going to start off with a nice 2.5k warm up, and then we're going to go with a 90-second break in between. Then we're doing split 600s. One set of the 300s of the split is going to be at 5:40, and one set is going to be at 6:05. The other way around actually, and then 90 seconds rest after each 600. Then we're going to finish with a nice 1k cool down. How does that sound?
I mean, I'll follow you because that sounds hard.
All right, wicked, let's go.
Cool.
All right, so rep 1, how are you feeling?
I always go off too slow, too fast even. I don't know how you'd not do that.
It's the first one, try not to think about paces in general. Just get the blood in your legs and keep it flowing, nice and easy. Focus on the breathing, ensuring at least we hit this first rep nice and chilled and on time.
Cool, we're done.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, let's walk. Woo, you really want to use this opportunity to grab your breath. Go on.
Did you feel ready for your first marathon when you wanted to train for it?
No, I didn't. Interesting story. My first marathon and my first 5k were less than 10 months apart.
Right.
Which is interesting. But no, I definitely didn't follow any training plan or sort of follow any sort of routine. I kind of just went for it.
Yeah.
So no, the answer was no, I didn't feel ready, but mentally I knew I could persevere and get the distance done.
I'm perpetually tired, mate. Yeah. Did you feel...
This is rep 1.
Do you just feel fatigued, quite muscle soreness all the time?
Yeah, literally. You just have to, I think marathon training especially, you need to just get used to running on tired legs. You need to be okay knowing that you're never going to finish a marathon and feel okay. This suck that you're feeling now, and especially as we get close to reps 4, 5 and 6, that's when we're going to have to, that's when you're really going to feel it. How much of a recovery do we have?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Are you ready for rep number 2?
I mean, I'll give it a go.
Why we do a split 600 is because the second part is going to be considerably faster than the first. So you're going to really have to pick it up, and then you're going to be wishing that the rest was longer than 90 seconds. But let's go.
All right. Okay, we're done.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, hit me.
Well, this one's really personal.
Yeah.
How do you not need to pee in a marathon? So, did a long run the other day, half marathon.
Yeah.
4 Ps.
The main thing for me is peeing one more time than you feel like you need to in the morning.
Right.
I drink so much water for 4 hours before the marathon that I have to pee multiple times during. And then ultimately, if it actually, push comes to shove, then just try and get in and out of the Irrational as soon as possible. Thankfully, the most recent ones that I've done, I haven't needed to pee. And good, because if you are going for a time, it can really affect that time.
I mean, we're both pretty sweaty, sweaty runners, so that fills me with a bit of confidence if.
Yeah, I feel like the more you sweat, the less you will actually need to pee. So that's a good thing. And the colder it is, the more you're going to need to pee actually.
Brilliant,
so.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think it's average 10 degrees.
Yeah, lovely.
That's pretty shitty, isn't it, Chicago?
But don't use that as an excuse to not drink water, because you do need to stay hydrated throughout the race. Or just hold it in, as grown-ups, keep control of that bladder.
We've got to go. Okay.
Okay, rep number 3, we're almost halfway there. Oh, you catch your breath. It's okay.
Halfway, done.
Deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Right, 8 stations.
Yes.
Never done one. They look scary.
Yeah.
How's that work?
Pinch and sip is Sarah's technique when you come to drink. If they give you little bottles, then by all means, make sure you at least throw them away where they need to be thrown away. But just prep. When you see an aid station in advance, they are normally signs, prep for it, so try and get to the side. And don't always take the first one, because there's people behind you, so obviously look out for the people behind you as well. Don't be afraid, try and grab one. Aid stations are normally quite long, so if you miss one right at the beginning, then try and grab one a bit later. And if you do feel like you need to slow down or stop, then by all means do that as well, because you don't want to miss one and then be dehydrated at the next, in the next few miles.
Got 10 seconds left, but you can speak and I can't while running. When we did Under Armour, your sub 3,
yes,
you were taking on gels without hitting a pace,
yes,
without slowing down. Is that something you practiced?
Yes, so definitely when you are doing your long runs in training, I would highly advise practicing your nutrition mid-race.
Yeah.
So obviously, and if you listen to the Running Channel podcast, we mention it quite a lot, is that you can train your gut. We said it on our videos and we say it in the podcast. So it is worth trying to train your gut. Oh, there's an aid station coming up. Just grab that. Thank them. There we go. Fantastic. If ever you do feel dehydrated in a race and you feel like you've drunk enough, use the remainder of the water to throw it on yourself. Don't just throw the water in those bins. Either pour it out to the side or cool your head down. Speaking of gels, you need to know when is the right time for you. When you start feeling depleted, when you start feeling tired, it's too late. You got to start taking your gels before you get tired. And we're back to walking. Fantastic. How you feeling? That's rep 4 or 5. I mean 4 or 6.
That hurt me a bit. Next question is something that I struggle with a lot. Is the mental side.
Yes.
How do you build mental resilience to keep the hype up in training and also for the race?
So that's actually the key word there, is like building up that resilience. A lot of people rely on just motivation when you got to build yourself some resilience and some discipline to know that do you want some water? To know that regardless, you have to get the sessions in. And I think it helps having like a good reason why you want to do this. Just think about how you'll feel crossing the marathon, how accomplished you will feel when you cross that marathon in less pain than you would if you didn't train. Just really focus on getting the training sessions, and through cannabinoids, not endorphins, we found out, that you will feel a lot better on the other side of training sessions. So just remember that before starting your training session. Right. And that's something that I normally do. And absolute worst case scenario, something that you've done today, is get a friend to come and run with you, hold you accountable, and it normally distracts from the pain that you're inevitably going to feel. When
I'd have definitely had a walk at this point by now if you were here, mate. Okay, well, speaking of running, let's go again. Thank you very much, mate.
All right, this is rep 5.
Yeah.
Arguably the hardest rep of all, because once you reach number 6, it's basically the finish line is imminent. I try and mentally envision this bit as like kilometer 30 to 35 in the marathon, or like 32 to 37, where it's the hardest part of the race. And if you can nail that in, and if you can nail this rep in mentally, then it becomes a lot easier.
Oh, I'm glad that one's over. All right. Okay, next question. We talk about your sub 3 marathon attempt.
Yes.
Best part, hardest part.
I think they're both quite similar. It's my cheer squads, so the best and the worst part. Like obviously them coming up all the way from London and different parts of the UK just to come and see me run that is like, there's no better feeling than knowing that.
Even your barber came, right?
Yeah, he gave me a trim at like mile 13. But no, I think that was the best part, but also the worst part, because like the fear of letting them all down. And I know that everyone would turn around and be like, no, you can never let us down, and so on and so forth. But it's just, that is an irrational fear that I had, that if I just didn't make it, then all of them traveling there would be for nothing. All of these past 2 hours and 59 minutes would have been worthless in my head if I didn't cross the line in time, and that would have felt like a waste for me. But it's not all about time, it's just that specific one, and it's a very irrational fear. And in hindsight, I could look back and say that regardless of what time I crossed the line, it was the best feeling ever. Last rep. This is nice for us, we're almost done. And then we got 1K cool down after this. How are you feeling? How would you describe this session?
Like I say, like these are my favourite sessions, but the training plan is now like we're into the meat of it now.
Yeah.
The longer runs are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
The unknowns are getting larger.
Yeah. But this is liberating because everything's unknown.
Yeah.
It's like this is all like new territory, undiscovered territory, and you can really see what your body's capable of. Focus on that breathing. Channeling. Almost there. Fantastic. All right, last little 90 seconds and then we go for our cool down.
That's rough.
It's rough, it's done. It's out of the way. Good work.
Right.
Good work.
Another question for you.
I have an answer.
This is a gateway race for me.
Okay.
My dream aspiration is to be like a big ultra runner, like
Okay.
UTMB vibes.
Yeah.
So I've got to build up, I know that. And that's why I'm doing this marathon.
Yeah.
But the question for you is, at what point through your training for a sub 3 or when you did the sub 3, did you be like, okay, I'm going to do another marathon or another time-based goal? Was the motivation there or?
Well, firstly, I think it's incredible that you want to do an ultra, and I think on the other side of this marathon, that's exactly what that's what we're going to do. I won't leave you until you do. And everyone on the everyone has seen it now, so they can all hold you accountable.
Yeah.
I think to answer your question, it was tough. Like mentally, as soon as I finished that sub 3, it was like, what's next? Because I mentioned in that video that it was one of my first running goals, and it was the last of the initial bulk of goals that I had for myself, anyways, when it came to running. And then you kind of go through a period of not really knowing what to do with your training and kind of just trying to fall back in love with running with no purpose. And purposeless running is so good because I'm very purpose driven and goal driven in terms of how I like to operate. So
Yeah.
although I did liberate myself of any paces and just in my head, I wasn't thinking, yes, now I need to run another marathon and quicker than the last one. That's not how my mind worked. It was like, let me just enjoy running for the sake of running for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then set myself some shorter goals.
I think there's quite a lot of like good life lessons you can learn from running, right? Like being okay with not being okay.
Yeah.
And the acceptance that like you just don't know what's next. That stuff stresses me out, so
Yeah.
I think I have to work on that.
But you, like you said, you know you want to do an ultra after the marathon, but it doesn't have to be immediately after.
Yeah.
And you can use the fitness that you gain from this to then use that as the foundation for your training for the next block.
Okay, we're coming down to the end of this cool down, which marks the end of this little video, I think.
Yep.
But there is one more milestone left in my training before the big day, and that is my longest run. But don't worry guys, that's been filmed and it's coming to your screen, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, please go and check out Mo running this sub 3 attempt, because if I do say so myself, I filmed it. It is a great looking video and Mo did an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. And thank you for allowing me to join you today.
Oh mate, anytime. Can you just take my watch next time and I'll just stay at home?